Donk Nation, Jackson, Janet's greetings and welcome to your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you the season's first BugCap to recap the Steelers' 18-10 win down in Atlanta. Bugboo, how's it going?
Good.
You happy about that win?
Yep.
And you should be happy about predicting all AFC North games correctly. Both him and his brother 4-0 in the AFC North Donk Nation projections, doing a lot better than myself, Gingy, or Laskers. You guys pretty proud about that perfect weekend?
Yep.
You ready to keep it going?
Yep.
All right, what you want to talk about in the Steelers game? You want to start offense, defense, good, bad? Where you want to go with this?
Offense.
What you want to talk about?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. He went out. He had a pretty decent day, I'd say. Didn't turn the ball over, which is kind of new for him. Was really put in a lot of weird situations, a lot more under center than you see Justin Fields. And it looked like things might start terribly with a fumbled snap right off the bat, but he really settled in, had himself a efficient day. I think he was the 5th highest rated quarterback according to PFF rankings over the week, which is kind of weird when you consider the Steelers didn't get a single touchdown bug.
Yeah.
But do you have faith in Justin Fields going forward, or are you ready to see what Russell Wilson has?
Rather Russell Fields.
You'd rather see Fields again? Okay, you kind of confused me there, but we can talk about that. I mean, he ends up 156 yards, 17 to 23 passing. A couple downfield passes to George Pickens that were really nice, but one that was a pass interference on Pickens, and he's just got to learn not to extend his arms. He won't get the call there, or the day might have ended a little better for them. But really, I think Fields played all in all a pretty good game, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed that way. Let's stay on the offensive side. I mean, Najee ran the ball pretty good, 20 for 70, 3.5 yard average, but nothing great. The offensive line played pretty good, not great. It felt like there was just a lot of average performance from the Steelers on offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the wide receivers, Freiermuth had an okay day. Outside of him, the only person with multiple catches was Jalen Warren, and George Pickens had a pretty good day, 6 for 85. He pretty much was the only offensive player who showed any kind of explosion out there. Didn't see a lot from Warren in the run game, probably working him back slowly from that injury. Saw, in my opinion, a little bit too much of Cordero Patterson, but we have to be better on offense, don't you think, if we want to go win games?
Yeah, even if we want to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, especially if you want to go that far. But we can keep talking. Offensively, the number 2 wide receiver, the number 3 wide receiver, Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin III, not only did they not be a factor in the passing game, so often in the running game, we saw them not able to hold their blocks, get knocked backwards. It's led to a couple of big loss plays on the reverse to George Pickens, the screen to George Pickens, and a run from the outside for Najee. These guys, if they're not going to be contributors in the passing game, they at least have to be able to run block, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get then to the Steelers' offense. Okay, we talked their offensive players, but their offense was none other than Chris Boswell. 6 for 6 in field goals, kicking 350-yarders. Thank goodness Boswell showed up, huh?
Yeah.
And not to mention only that, when Cameron Johnson unfortunately goes down with injury, huge loss for the Steelers there with a finally good punter. Hopefully Corliss Waitman can step in and do a good job. Boswell steps on the field and kicks, a 40-yard punt as well. This dude was everything that the Steelers needed on offense and special teams. It's all just wrapped up nicely in Chris Boswell being the Wizard of Boz to start the year, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, anything you want to say about him?
Congrats.
Congrats. It's good to have a good kicker out there. Now we can flip over to the defensive side of the ball. I mean, the Falcons ran the ball pretty decently, I would say. Bijan had about 4 yards a carry. Allgeier was at 7 yards a carry. When you put them together, almost 100 yards on 21 carries. But we have TJ Watt. Is there anything else to say about this defense?
Interceptions.
There were interceptions. I mean, Kirk Cousins played. You can either say the Steelers made him play terrible because they only had really 2 drives, or you could say Kirk Cousins looked like a dude who hasn't played football in a year. And let's be honest, in Minnesota, Kirk Cousins is almost always under center. This time he was sitting back in the pistol. That takes away a lot of the things Atlanta could do in terms of play action and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is a super high-paid quarterback. He's supposed to be the savior of Atlanta. And the Falcons just couldn't get anything going against the Steelers' defense outside of that drive at the end of the half where it was the 68-yard touchdown. But, man, TJ Watt had 2 strip sacks taken away due to penalty, one which was very iffy. He did leave early, but I don't think he got off sides early, so I don't think that one should have been called. The other one very clearly should have been a penalty. But we go out there, you're talking, they shut down Atlanta, really. When you look at the box score, when Ray McLeod at 52 yards is the leading receiver for Atlanta, you did something right there. You keep Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier combined under 100 yards. The defense showed up pretty well, and maybe this is the building block in that front seven. If they can keep playing like that, maybe this defense will look really good. And Jalen Elliott, first game as a Steeler, gets an interception. That was nice to see.
Yeah.
How about we also add Donta Jackson in there, first game as a Steeler with an interception?
Awesome.
Yeah, 2 new players in the secondary really going out there. Anything you'd like to say about the way the defense performed?
Really good.
Really good, yeah. That's for sure. Any players that you felt deserve a little special mention from you because you liked what you saw on the field from them? All of them? All right, that's fair enough. I thought the Steelers did a great job stopping the run, which led to pressure on Cousins. Cousins looks lost, did not throw the ball well. He looked like a guy who hadn't played in a year, as I said. We'll run through this. I'll run through real quick. Quarterbacks, I thought Justin Fields was okay. I thought the Steelers ran this. Didn't that offense look very similar to what we ran last year?
Kind of, without Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, just replace Kenny Pickett with Justin Fields. That's the worry for me. No passes in the middle, very selected shots downfield. Steelers are going to need to be more aggressive because field goals aren't going to cut it against good football teams. That's where my problem was there. Offensively, I thought Fields played a conservative game, didn't turn the ball over, which is what they wanted. So, okay there. I thought the running backs looked okay, not great. Najee ran with some aggression, which was good to see. Offensive line played okay. You could tell Spencer Anderson's a backup. He had some struggles. Zach Frazier had some struggles. Dan Moore Jr. probably was the best of the linemen, which is really hard for me to say, but it's true. Tight ends, they looked underwhelming to me. Wide receivers not named George Pickens. Did you even come to play? Just kidding. Scotty Miller did, but not on offense. Huge play as a gunner on special teams and coming in to hold the snap on Boswell's field goal at the end after the hurt to Johnson. Very, very important. So let's give a shout out to Scotty Miller in his first game as a Steeler as well.
Yeah.
Special teams wide. Chris Boswell, absolute monster, killed it. Cameron Johnson had a great game until he got hurt. That unfortunately has to put the bad spotlight on our special teams on Miles Killebrew, a guy who's normally a superstar for us. Killebrew had a really rough game special teams wise, and that was sad to see. But really, Wizard of Oz, that's what the special teams was. That's what the offense was. Yeah, anything to say about them?
Yes.
Okay, what you want to say?
Good job.
Good job. That's what's up. Let's get to the defense then. Front seven, really good game. I have nothing really terrible to say about them. The biggest gripe I can have is Alex Highsmith, again, is the weak point when they run the ball. They're running it at Highsmith. Both him and Cam Hayward have to do a better job of holding that edge and not letting teams just run on the left side of our defense. Make them run the ball at TJ Watt, and let's see what happens. Secondary-wise, I don't think anyone played great, but Cousins looked bad, and Donta Jackson dropped an interception early, caught one late. Jalen Elliott catches the ball that's thrown to him. They did what they needed to do, so you have to give them an A+ on a defense that or a secondary that created more turnovers than touchdowns allowed. But that drive, that 60-yard drive, was definitely the negative, and it exposed the secondary a little bit, don't you think?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, let's be honest. TJ Watt is this defense, is he not? That dude. We were watching the first drive, and nothing happens. They're driving it down our throat. TJ Watt makes a play in the backfield, kills the drive. TJ Watt is this defense. TJ Watt is what makes it happen. And even the Falcons' touchdown, if Watt doesn't get called offsides, he has that strip fumble. TJ Watt dives on a fumble. TJ Watt is this defense. TJ Watt might be the best defensive player I've ever seen in this generation. Him and Aaron Donald are the two that go up there for me. Yeah, he's quite an amazing guy. I'm glad you get to start your football Steelers one with that. We gave a shout out to pretty much everybody who had it. Special shout out. Montravius Adams actually had a huge play where he went in and got himself a sack. He's been playing the best football I saw him play probably being the spell guy, while Benton takes the majority of the snaps. Adams now being a substitution in. It really looked well with Adams in that role. Yeah, that's for sure. So, Bug, this is the end of it. Anybody you want to call out? I guess I also had to say, Nan, Patrick Queen, we paid you a lot of money. You better play better next time. He was out of position and missing tackles. That's not what we want to see from our high money linebacker. We need him to show up in Denver and show why we paid for him, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But all in all, good job to them. If I was giving out grades, the offense would get a C because they were average and all they did was let Boswell kick field goals. Special teams gets an A++ because Chris Boswell, well, he's Chris Boswell and had to do a punt. And the defense gets a solid A-B+. It wasn't perfect, but it was darn good, huh?
Yeah.
You like those grades or anything you would change?
Probably a couple more A+.
The more A+. A+ all around from Bugboo. All right, before we get to your shout-out for the week, we're going to do something we really haven't done. We're going to let you pick on air who you think is going to be the winner of the Week 2 AFC North football games, because you're going to join in with us at the Donk Nation staff on picking these games. So as we scroll through, the first one is we have the Browns going to the Jaguars. Who'd you like in that game?
No one.
You had to pick one, Cleveland or Jacksonville to win.
Probably Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is the pick from Bugboo there. We'll go down. We got the Las Vegas Raiders going to the Baltimore Ravens.
I would have Las Vegas win.
Las Vegas. Bug just picks against the Steelers rivals, and you know what? It worked last week, so can't fault him. You have the Bengals going to the Chiefs. Who'd you like in that one?
Bengals going. Chiefs.
Yeah.
Bengals.
You're picking against your Chiefs. Wow. All right. Bugboo said it there. He said he's got the Bengals in the upset. And then we have the Steelers going to the Broncos. Who do you think going to win that game?
Steelers smacking the Broncos.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I like it. Now it's this time. It's time for you to have your chance to give a shout out to anybody you want to, any player you think from the game.
Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the game.
That's the game. But a shout out, a special player that you call out, you think did a great job. TJ Watt, that's fair. Anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Let's go Pittsburgh Nation.
All right. Well, Donk Nation, it's time. I got to let you know, I'm the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey on Twitch or Twitter. Your daily dose of Donkey Gingers, where you get this fun content. Tune in. Bugboo will be here every week. It'll be probably Tuesdays. We might shift it up to Mondays, depending on how things go. But that's hard to do because sometimes the Steelers play on Monday. So you got to wait till the week ends for that. But Bugboo's here. Special guest, no socials. But we got to thank him. Donk Nation, Steeler Nation, love y'all. Wave him if you got him.
Let's go Pittsburgh.